YouTube at this point.
98.1. Okay, Lagos, here we are. It's gone past 6:30, and this is Business Express, where we touch on the big business news and see how Nigeria is doing, not just on the national front, but on the international front. I'm Sope Martins, and of course, for the next half hour, Rotus is in. Hi, Rotus.
Hey, half hour. That would be great.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, I did just say half hour. For the next quarter of an hour, 15 minutes, Rotus holds them. You know what I meant. Rotus holds
Of
swing.
course.
Yeah.
Good morning, Sope. Good morning to all
Rotus.
our listeners. Good to be with you all on first of the month, right? It's half of the week.
Yep.
All that
First day of June, and you know what that means. Okada ban coming into effect. Yeah.
Ooh, thank you for reminding me. Yes, that does come into effect today. I think I saw Lagos State trying to allay the fears of Lagosians that use them, that they shouldn't worry. So thank you. We will see how how things work out, and I'll be looking at the streets as I think where I drive to see if the ban is implemented. So we'll see how that works out.
All right. And we are streaming live up on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. Make sure you go over there, watch us on the live stream, and leave your comments up on the live stream as well. And find Rotus on Twitter. He is at RotanQuote. Find us and tag us in your comments. We are at smooth981FM. The hashtag is businessexpress981. And join the conversation up on that platform. And of course, there's always WhatsApp. The number is 0809 440 981. Okay, so Rotus, we've got some interesting news today, and I have questions about this. So we're going to be talking about Saudi Arabia and their $620 billion future generation fund, and then we're going to be talking about Nigeria. And I already have questions for you, because Rotus, how fair is it? Is it fair to actually compare Nigeria to Saudi Arabia when it comes to cash flow from oil proceeds?
I don't think it is. It's a Business Day article that talks about how the future generation funds of Saudi Arabia mocks Nigeria. And look, I mean, Saudi Arabia GDP growth for the first quarter of this year was like 9.6%. Nigeria was 3.4. They produce over 10 million barrels of oil per day. We do about 1.4, 1.5, at least for the first quarter. Production numbers have dropped. I mean, come on, they're a leader when it comes to oil prices.
That's not comparing apples and oranges. That's comparing apples and sand. I don't understand.
Yeah, so I think what the Business Day piece was essentially trying to do was saying that they have been able to. And by the way, their GDP growth for the 9.6% was based on the rally in oil prices that we saw this year. I think they have a budget surplus thanks to oil prices. We, on the other hand, have not been able to maximize the advantages that we would have gotten from the rally that we've seen in oil prices due to a number of issues that we are facing. So the answer is no. On the one hand, you want to show where Nigeria could be when it comes to what other countries doing with respect to these oil producing countries, how they are using it to post budget surpluses, how they're using it to develop their economies, and so on and so forth. Saudi Arabia is one of the fastest growing economies this year as a result of the rally in oil prices. So I think what the article was doing was saying, hey, look, Nigeria, this is where you could be. But to use, one of the largest oil producers in the world, I don't know. It may not be so fair.
Okay, so who should we be looking at comparing Nigeria to when it comes to this? Because what most people do is they'll take Saudi Arabia, then they'll take a Dubai, and then they'll take a Nigeria, and somehow, come out looking so great.
Yeah, it's look again. You can look at it in different ways. Yeah, look, on the continent of Africa, maybe you can look at other oil producing African nations, but they are smaller compared to us in size. Like an Angola, for instance, which is the second largest oil producer on the continent. But perhaps to the potential of Nigeria, Angola doesn't come close, right? So maybe we should be shooting for the stars and be looking at Saudi Arabia
Right,
as
when
an
it comes to the
example.
potential, but then again, when it comes to the issues, because
Right.
we know the issues that are affecting the outputs in Nigeria. So I suppose the question will be, does this come down to a lack of leadership?
It probably does, because was Governor Mefele, governor, just recently said, I think was having a meeting with the players in the aviation sector, saying that oil theft has hampered Nigeria's foreign exchange earnings, because basically oil proceeds that you could be earning on the international markets are being lost as a result of this persistent oil theft issue. And well, leadership at this point should have put that to a stop. I mean, you just have to go and guard pipelines. You have to go and survey areas where vandalism is taking place. People are making money off this stuff, and pipeline vandalism and oil theft is being motivated by higher oil prices. So if you steal oil, you can sell it at a really high price on the black market and so on, and make a lot of money. So leadership, I think I agree with you, does come into play here. They should have stopped this by now, because if you look at our oil production, it continues to work. We continue to be impacted.
All right, I just have to say, and let me just put this out there, that I find it rather odd that an oil producing country is always looking for dollars. I always feel that oil and dollars go hand in hand, but yet somehow another one of those issues, right? So I've got more questions for you, but people are sending in messages already. So real quick, Ugo wants a shout out actually, and it's a Wednesday. He says, shout out to me on hashtag Okada Bam Day. It's my birthday. So you picked a great day. That's all I can say.
Happy birthday, Ugo Collins. Happy birthday. And I hope you're around with no issues.
And Yinka Bully says, but if we do a half hour, will the heavens fall? Come on, break the bias. Rotus, your people want more. All right. Now the next question I've got for you, because we're still in this Saudi Arabia Nigeria comparison. So is there actually a plan to raise the $200 billion in non-oil exports over the next or rather there is a plan to raise it, right? And that's over the next 3 to 5 years. But when you look at the UAE and the transformation of Dubai, which everyone who goes to Dubai sees in the pictures, they're like 20 years ago, now, the future, right? So it was all of that was done with Petrodollars, which is why people are always comparing us with them. So can Nigeria ignore oil proceeds while trying to boost her non-oil sector?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't think it can, because that is exactly right. Where Dubai is where it is today because they use oil money to transform it. Saudi Arabia has all these plans that they have to modernize their economy and turn things, and shift towards even renewables and so on. But it is the earnings that they've made from oil that they are using to do that. So this RT 200 plan that Nigeria has to earn $200 billion in non-oil exports over the next 3 to 5 years. It is incredibly ambitious. And how do you do
banking that on?
So they are banking that on the commercial banks supporting indigenous companies and helping them to export more. And there's also like a rebate scheme where for every dollar that you repatriate back into Naira, into the country, you get, I think it's like 65 Naira per dollar or so that the CBN is trying to use to incentivize companies to do so. But the thing is, for you to shift to your oil economy and try to boost that, you do need proceeds from what you earn from oil in order to look. Anybody who wants to diversify, if a company is expanding, it is the
you use your cash cow, right?
Exactly, to do that. So it's $200 billion over the next 3 to 5 years. Incredibly ambitious, but it's tough to see how that is achieved without relying on the main source of income for the country to go there.
Look, Rotus, a lot of, especially since the big Russia-Ukraine or Russia incursion into Ukraine and war, let's put it out there. A lot of people have been saying, okay, gas, but we know that the infrastructure for us to profit and capitalize on the vast gas reserves that we have in the country. That's very capital intensive. Was that another thing that we could have used our oil proceeds to work on?
Exactly. I mean, look, as we speak, Italy has signed a deal, I think, with Egypt, with Algeria. I think they're going to sign a deal with Mozambique. They are putting European countries that are diverting away from Russia, putting pen to paper and signing deals with African countries that have proven gas reserves and the infrastructure to pipe gas there. We haven't signed any such deal. And that just tells you that, we're not there in terms of courting Europe and Europe turning to us and saying, "No, let's sign a deal and get some gas from you." I mean, we have LNG, which is moved by ships, but as far as natural gas and piping it, yeah, you're correct. That oil proceeds could have been used to develop our gas sector to where we could have been profiting off of Europe now trying to turn away from Russia. So that's yet another area that your petrodollars can be put to use.
All right, now we've got more messages coming in, but real quick, I want to ask you about the Petroleum Industry Act. Like, what do you make of it? Do you think that it is robust enough?
Well, I mean, look, it took 20 plus years for it to finally be signed. It's passed through how many administrations? There's no perfect act, but it's okay. I mean, it's formed. There's still a few, I guess, niggles here and there, but it does the best that it can. The issue, though, about the Petroleum Industry Act is whether we've missed the boats with everybody focus on renewables now. Large oil and gas companies moving from onshore shallow waters into deeper offshore areas of Nigeria. So has it been too late? Should we have passed this 5, 10, 15 years ago? So that's the issue with the Petroleum Industry Act and whether or not it can revitalize an industry that people are turning away from.
Well, hold on, though. As they're moving from onshore to offshore, they're leaving it behind for the indigenous companies, right? Because
but then look at something like Seplats, which was supposed to which had a deal to, I think it was a shared ownership transfer of about 1.5, $1.2 billion worth of assets from Mobil. It's being held up. The government is holding it up. And Seplats is a company that has proved its capabilities of being able to handle assets. It's one of the pretty well-run and gas energy firm, Seplat Energy PLC. That deal has not gone through. The NNPC said it has a right of first refusal, but do they have the technical capacity and the know-how to be able to handle those assets? So indigenous companies, yeah, they can do the work, but there's these red tape and all these other things they've got to get to be able to move forward. So that's what.
But can they last the duration? Can they last long term? What's the durability? What is the
you mean the assets or the indigenous companies?
The companies.
Yeah, no. I mean, Seplat has proven it. Seplat, Owando, ITO, all these companies, the ones that are here, they've been here for a while and they've proven that they have the structure and capacity to be here for quite a while. Because look, there's still, tons of barrels of oil in the ground, and the exploration activity is still set to continue for a while. So yeah, they have longevity.
Okay. All right. Now, as we come to the end of the show, I'm going to read out the messages that we've got coming in. Up on WhatsApp, Ogano Chuko says, this oil theft can be contained with the use of drones. The day the presidential jets are taken over by the creditors, then the government will do the needful. Whilst Don Baroni says, Naira for dollar, FX inflow from the IMTO is 5 Naira on the dollar.
Okay, no, that's for money, international money. IMTO is international money transfer operators. That's for individuals who get money from overseas. So that's for individuals. This other one, this RT200 is for businesses who get rebates for dollar that they repatriate back into the country if their exports increase. So it's two different rebate schemes from the CBN.
Great. And Yinka Bolu says, I'm sorry, but comparing Nigeria to Saudi Arabia in terms of crude oil strides seems a bit offside. Not sure who they're trying to impress anyway. Can we get to that level? Yes. But is it what can be easily achieved? No. Saudi Arabia, for example, has an entire screen that monitors its pipeline. Do we have such? No. Then the Western oil politics, how has it played out between both countries? All these and many more make that comparison wrong. Please compare Saudi Arabia to Russia or Norway. Don't even compare them to Brazil. How much does Saudi Arabia produce a day compared to us? And then he also says, oh, and what? And we have to end the show. We have to end the show. There you go.
Nice.
But Rotus, of course, when you leave us, we can still find you on social media. So people go and check him out. He is at Rotancode up on social media, and we'll have the replay for you up on our YouTube channel. Just find us youtube.com/smooth981 FM Lagos. Rotus, see you tomorrow.